I have many friends who are business owners, entrepreneurs, lawyers that come to me and say, "Hey man, I love the transformation you have had, but I don't know if I'm ready for it." When I ask them, "How come?" They say, "Well, I'm happy with my job, I'm happy with my girlfriend, I'm enjoying my life, and it just seems that maybe I'm gonna drink that and I'm gonna wanna throw everything away." And their concern basically is that they're gonna end up becoming a shoeless hippie that only smokes weed and takes psychedelics and is all kumbaya and peace and love and gets no work done. Their concern is that they're gonna feel like they no longer fit in the matrix. Now, that has happened to many people, but I think it happens because of a lack of proper integration, a lack of proper leadership from the people running the retreat, and a lack of understanding about what a genuine, grounded journey of spiritual growth entails. So, for me personally, when I first drank ayahuasca, I was working as a tattoo artist. I was making very good money because I was working as a self employed tattoo artist. And part of me was confused because I thought, well, tattooing is kind of this thing that is taboo for some people and is frowned upon by some religions. And, I'm I'm covered in tattoos and some people judge that. And I thought, what if ayahuasca tells me that it was wrong for me to get so many tattoos? Or what if it shows me that it is wrong for me to tattoo other people? And I was concerned, but what ended up happening was I understood that these were prejudices from my mind. When we don't have experience, our mind is full of prejudices. We assume a lot of stuff about that which we do not know. What ended up happening for me was the following. In my visions, I started seeing and remembering a client that I had tattooed 3, 4 years ago. And I remember I tattooed a bear in watercolor style with some mountains and some trees. And I remember that when we were chatting, he was telling me stories about his wife and his two daughters and how he was paying $3,000 just in daycare for both of them per month. And I remember thinking, how can someone have children in this city? Anyways, I started seeing a vision of this guy whom I hadn't thought about for years. I didn't even remember his face. And I started seeing him in the vision. And I started seeing him kind of arguing with his wife and being a little bit grumpy with his kids. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And suddenly the medicine, ayahuasca, starts showing me when I was tattooing him. And it showed me that right before I started tattooing him, I received some very unpleasant news about my former girlfriend. And I was full of rage and anger and anxiety and panic. And when I was tattooing him, I couldn't stop thinking about the news that I had just received. And I was just waiting for this tattoo to be finished so that I could call her and confront her because I was in so much pain. And the medicine showed me that water has so much memory and that the ink that goes into the tattoo caps has a high percentage of water. And that every time that I was taking with my heavy energy, my machine, and dipping it into the ink caps, I was not consecrating, but somehow cursing the water. Like my energy, if you acknowledge the fact that we are electric beings, and this is not woo, this is science, we have so much electricity running through our bodies, you will see that we have the capacity to change the electrical charge of the things that we touch. This is what people refer to as energy. It's a consecration or a course is just changing the electrical charge, the intention with which the energy moves somewhere. We are always doing this consciously or unconsciously. In this case, in this vision, I realized that because of my pain, I was so charged negatively that it went into the ink and then it went on his shoulder. And the vision of him and his wife and his kids was the impact that tattooing from this place had had on him. Then the medicine started showing me how back in the day I used to get a little bit drunk, a little bit tipsy before tattooing because I thought I'm an artist, I'm a bohemian artist, I need my drinks, my drugs, and to do good work. Those were the stories that I lived with. And it showed me how some of these had gone into every single client. And I felt overwhelmed. I felt responsible. And before I could feel guilt or shame about having tattooed people from that place, I asked the medicine, I said, let me clean that up, please. I said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And then I started feeling all the pain, all the anxiety, all of that. And I started vomiting and vomiting and vomiting and vomiting. I started purging so much, purging and purging and purging until I felt that energetically, whatever of me that had gone into that person through the tattoo was out. Why I'm sharing this is because ayahuasca afterwards showed me how to bless the ink, how to bless those tattoos, how through my intention and my mind have the tattoo be not only a piece of beautiful artwork, but a seal of light, a seal of transformation, a consecration that that person will carry for the rest of their life. The medicine taught me how to be impeccable from the moment I start painting and designing to the moment I greet the person to the way in which I am breathing as I am moving the machine through their skin to everything afterwards. And you know what? The work that I started doing became of the next level quality. I started having way more clients that were tipping me sometimes hundreds of dollars per tattoo, paying very well, very happy, very joyful. And I realized that my career as a tattoo artist was improved in a positive way thanks to ayahuasca. The same thing happened for my sister. She works in corporate. Right now, she's the CEO of a Colombian corporation. And ayahuasca showed her that people in the company were quite isolated, a little bit depressed, anxious, that they were going to work and coming home and did not have a social life. And the medicine told her to organize monthly events, contests, dance parties, all kinds of fun things, lunches, taking turns organizing them. And it's now been a few years that she started to organize them because the homework was given to her through the medicine. And people in the company love this, love this, love this. She's shared with me crying a couple of times that people have reached out to her and told her, wow, like, I'm so happy to be part of this company. It gives me so much meaning. I love my friends that I made there. I love that we're treated like people and not just like another number. And that in like on the other side of that, that has deeply touched my sister, who herself was feeling isolated and distant from the people she used to work with. So before you assume that ayahuasca is going to turn you into a bracelet selling hippie in the coasts of Costa Rica, I want you to consider that ayahuasca can make you impeccable in your current craft. It can take you to the next level. It can make you world class because it awakens your mastery, it awakens your genius, your creativity, and above all, it awakens your heart so you learn to do things in a more conscious and loving way. I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe. Let us know of any questions you may have around ayahuasca, and I'll be happy to create a video around that. And if you're ever in Colombia and you want to drink plant medicine with my family, myself, and my team, find the details below. Hope that one day we get to see each other in person, and talk soon.